Hello YouTube. We have a bonus patch for the last 2 weeks of the season, and it's very important for me because I will try to get 18,000 MMR. I'm very close, but this patch will make it easier, hopefully less broken stuff. Some minions adjustments and some trinkets adjustments, and we'll see what they brew for us. So we will start with Nagas. There is dev comment, so Nagas and Beasts are underperforming, which is like not a surprise, and Quillbars are get nerfed. But I think what actually happened, they did remove the Agam, hotfix removed the Agam, and their stats still indicated that Quillbars are really good because people were still trying them, so they were kind of overplayed. Then people suddenly stopped playing them. They are a mess, so they did end up nerfing one unit of Quillbar, which in my opinion is needed. Quillbars actually right now, before this nerf, were fine as the right place in the meta. They had the right place in it, but they just kind of nerfed them for no reason. I mean, but it's really hard because you make a patch, then you have more stats, you have to do the patch with like 1 week beforehand, and always problems arise. But they buffing the Nagas, I would say the Crit and Wrangler buff is not really relevant. It's nice when you have a Naga setup and you're gonna get the Trident trinket, which gives you 6 to 7 spellcrafts. Then you can make one stupid idiot. It's very good at making the cleave and really good synergy with the Quillbars. Kinda semi-Hodder Surveyor. So definitely we will see this card more often, but it's not something that will bring Nagas to suddenly playability. But it's a small step, and also this is a, I would say, decent buff for Tavern 4, so once again leveling some more aggressively will be rewarded, be a bit more stronger units. The one that is actually bigger is a change to the soft-hearted Siren, and this is very relevant. Like 310 is crazy big. 310 is actually crazy big. And yeah, you're gonna, when you discover this, let's say you discover on turn 5, you might get 3 spellcrafts. You probably afterwards you're gonna get 2 spellcrafts. You can keep on buffing it. You can keep this in the comp. 310 is a reasonable stat line, so I really like this change. And as you can see, 4 HP more. So I'm very happy about this one because Nagas have very powerful units of tier 3, and they have decent late game between good trinkets with Atisa like a postcard or like Lord of Gains. So they have a late game 2 available if you hit your trinket, but they were kind of empty in the mid game, in the mid stages, right? Strong stuff tier 3 through early game, mid game was kind of mech. I mean, you could use tier 2 units to power level to 5 and kind of skip that phase of the game, but now you have something solid that you can anchor your comp. Leaving Azerite, so Landlubber was nerfed, a lot of people were confused, but this is the reason. They moved Leaving Azerite to tier 3, and having Landlubber and Leaving Azerite at the same tier, as Jeff told us, it's not a good idea. It's not even that it will be so broken in this meta game, but we don't want to have strategies that don't require leveling past Tavern 3. With this, you would just roll for Golden Landlubber or 2, Azerite, and then hope to hit the good trinkets with Leaving Azerite or maybe Nala one, and you will literally break the game. So they had to avoid that. So Landlubber was moved to tier 4, but Leaving Azerite is tier 3 now, which probably will not buff the elemental that much, but the strategy of buffing Shrub with it would probably be better. So Beasts get buffed, Iridescent Skyblazer get buffed, but my anticipation is that it's getting removed with the new patch, new season. So they buff it because they actually stated that they focus on making adjustment to cards that will be leaving. So we can assume that the Skyblazer is removed. I don't know if they reveal that just yet, or maybe he's staying, but it get buffed to +2/+1. Really good change because beasts are in terrible spot. I think they're making some changes, some like other beast stuff as well. So we'll see how this goes, but at least beasts have something going. So yeah, I think that's a good change. The reason this card is endlessly change is low MMR, by the way. At 4 or 5,000 MMR, the beast, self-damage beasts are the king, similar to Undead. So this card get nerfed like infinite times already. And for high MMR player like myself, it just literally makes no sense. And this card even added pig. I think at some point it was giving +2/+2. What, like regular version maybe, or maybe I'm mistaken. It just never super crazy broken. There was maybe like a week or 2 that beasts were very powerful, but it's like very. When Trigger Lasher was giving both attack and HP, that was like the period that beasts were actually kind of oppressive. But other than that, like it's like fine. So I like this change. Already just mentioned the Quillbar nerf. The Moon Bacon is tier 3 now. Again, yeah, I'm not happy about it. Because I think Quilbers actually with Shelf Diagram are in a perfect spot. You can still buff your gems, you can play with Merkai. A lot of people start playing with Rylag actually and realize that's really strong. Titus Bran, Rylag and Gem Smuggler and Moonbacon Jezzer, crazy synergy, a really powerful build too. You can sprinkle on some Parrot. So, and there is obviously Brizzleback base build, and you can still run Menagerie like with other Surveyor Trinket and stuff like that. So I don't like this change, and honestly, there's a benefit of that. That tier 2 now has less bad units on 10-3 if it, because right now it doesn't really, you don't really want to buy it on 10-3, so you're more likely to hit Bedrock, the Broken Elemental, or like a token. So there's actually benefit for the early game, believe it or not. I think we have Carmine Chameleon, so a lot of people were very confused because for the streamers, this card is the best ever, and you see them play them, you build a tremendously big unit, then we have the right setup and we copy that tremendously big unit and we win the game. People is like, this is the most broken card ever. I watched Chief, but in the end it just doesn't. Because you never know what your opponent will do. If he has a Wind Fury Cliff, he might run Cinderace. Like, can you even buff this Carmine Chameleon? And even copying your biggest unit, if your opponent is so much bigger and have some scam units in the back, not gonna be game winning. That doesn't change the card. This doesn't mean that this card is just bad. It's just not like a holy grail, the best card ever. So the golden version now will copy and make that, like, we'll copy the stats and effects, and also will make it golden. This is gonna help most of like a beast, for example. If you have like a mount, the tier 6 powerful beast with reborn, if you copy it, you also make it golden, so you will summon the better units. For like the biggest unit in the comp, I mean, it can be relevant for like Wildfire Elemental and Arid Atrocity, if those are the biggest one. Can be relevant for like tier 7 Dragon, the AoE 1 Ravager. So there are some synergies with making your biggest unit, which is non-golden, you will copy it, make it golden. So now you can maybe do that, and you can do that using the spell Eyes of Edmother, so you can try to combine that. So it's not the end of the world, but I don't think it's like a game breaking. So yeah. And as mentioned, Landlubber was moved to Tavern 4, because Azerite is on Tavern 3. I like this change personally, because I really don't like people staying on Tavern 3. And if they hit, for example, Nala Trinket on Tavern 3, they literally have infinite scaling, limited by APM only, and that's kind of silly, so to avoid that, they just did that. So we have currently infinite loop in the game, which is Disco Shuffler and Fire Rush. You can combine those two units, probably with Bran, and you basically have infinite cycle, because you can just keep on proccing this Better Cry. So they literally sell this. This is a treatment they already use. So when you sell this, it's no longer a Better Cry. It's when you sell this. That's really good, because we shouldn't have infinite loops in the game. So I'm very happy about that one. It was very silly. If you want to see that in action, you can check out my YouTube channel. If I'm not too lazy, I will put the link. How can you do that? The infinite loop. I think I have the game from the past. You can also check out the Shadybunny channel. I think he posted one recently, so if you are interested, you can check out his YouTube channel. I think he has a game of this. Felbat for the X time get changed, and it is, again, that's a good change. So the reason Felbat has been nerfed was because demons had very powerful trinkets. So for the lower stages like MMR, or like even like 8000 range of MMR, buffing your shop with lesser trinket, getting Felbat, sprinkling in Drakari, you don't need anything. Stands are big enough to win most lobbies. At high MMR, you probably get outstarted by better demon build at their peak, at their prime. There was a cycle infinite demon build, which was simply better than Felbat. And you had some other comparables comps. So it can eat again. Our boy can eat again. I assume maybe Felbat is staying as a demon if they revert it back, because without the trinket, the Felbat not gonna be a problem anymore. So maybe Felbat is staying. I don't know. Maybe. So I like the change because the unit was just unplayable as it is. And right now, there's also some changes to demon trinkets. So maybe the Felbat buff shop Felbat strat gonna come back, but it was never super oppressive at the highest stages, so I don't mind personally. So this is very important. Now we have lesser trinket updates, Belcher portrait, more stats. This trinket was changed a lot too. And now we are at +4/+4. Yay. Kaboom portrait. Okay, this, I personally think they should remove this trinket. It has extremely low ping rate and win rate, but there's probably some people who are enjoying doing Kaboom builds with Kangaroo's Apprentice, Monsters Macabre, Titus Revender, even though it's not good, and even if you have like a Fish of Enzod, it's just not good. Because the problem is, if you can, like, you cannot get a Kaboom trinket and Fish of Enzod, right? And combine those two. You just usually cannot do that. You will need to steal the fish from someone else. So there's never a situation that this build gonna be super oppressive. There's no way to stealth Titus either. And there's like a Sindore, and your build is like kinda done. Therefore, I just don't understand. This build is never good, and 10 damage, honestly, doesn't change that much for the late game. I mean, it is huge increase percent-wise, but the build was not even close to being playable, so maybe now, fringe playable? I don't think so. I personally don't like it, because if someone has this build, it's very toxic. In like 10-9, he will deal 15 to you out of nowhere, and then on 10-10, you will deal 15 to him, because you basically get some scaling, and they basically cannot really improve that much. So yeah, so this is both elementals and demons trinkets get buffed. So Dalaran Cheesewheel was the best trinket probably we had, and they nerf it, and it's the worst trinket in the game probably. So it's the difference of one refresh make it from like one of the best trinkets to one of the worst, which just shows you how difficult it is to balance. So it backs to like a prime version, honestly, and it's way more pickable now. Especially that they buffed the Firebat, so you can pick this early. It only costs 1 gold still, so very cheap. Combine this with either Prince and Recycling Brave. So part of the reason this was also crazy good, because Prince was at Tavern 3, the Prince of Dance, Marquezar, was on Tavern 3. So now it's on Tavern 4, so you will need to find a Golden Brave or Golden Prince to really get this going, but really nice as a trinket if you can make it happen. Blinktron Sunglasses. So I don't understand this trinket, honestly. It's really good in specific spots, because you can make a setup that you're gonna get a lot of redivine shields, but it's like 80% of the times you just divine shield the reborn unit you get. But there's probably some synergy I'm missing, and there's probably some ways so this get nerfed. Again, this is keep on getting buffed, then getting nerfed. I don't know. I'm so confused, but yeah, it get changed. So the next one is Azeroth Model Globe. The one that you discover a 6-drop after 2 turns. Yeah, it's kind of reasonable. It costs 0 now, because it's just not good. Like, kind of get power crept by Token of the Old Gods. Token of the Old Gods costs 2. This used to cost 1. So the token was superior in most cases. So now it costs 0, maybe more pickable. And then the last change, another demon buff, because demons actually get over nerfed, so they buffed the Reminder Portrait. It's so funny. It started at 7, I think, at the start of the season, and now it's at 3. It's so funny, actually. Yeah, I think demon's gonna be quite good now, Minotaur too, because the changes are good. Like the Reminder Portrait for 3 gold, suddenly is crazy good trinket. You get 2 units, they have synergy with each other. So, and you can still level while picking it, right? So you can, like, the problem with this at 4, you cannot really level and pick it, but at 3 gold, if you save some money, you can do that. So that's kind of better, right? Anyway, we're gonna continue. So there is actually, this is very weird. Okay, Bronze Belt Portrait. So this is a brand trinket that gives you the brand and making both Murlocs and Dragons. So it wasn't a great trinket, to be honest. It enabled you to make your golden brand quite easier, because you could have discovered a brand from like a Primafin Lookout, or like using Scope, because they were actually, so there was increased odds of getting a golden brand. And if you run like a Caragos comp, Dragon also get buffed. It now costs 0, but it wasn't super crazy. So they combined like the Rock Museum box and this trinket, so get the Bronze Bronted and the random Battlecry minions. I don't think you get Battlecry's minions every 10, so you get one-time effect, but it's actually kind of nice, because for 0 gold, you get Bran. I assume it's still 0 gold, and you're actually getting Bran's Brombed with the tribe tag, so definitely a reasonable change. Okay, chat, don't tell RDU and Gospodar. Nana Trinket, huge nerf. but not less than 1 hit Hearthstone, and I'm all up it. I think it's kind of silly that we had this like infinite money setup. Nala was very popular. It wasn't crazy good because the scaling is still limited. You were never getting to 1000 stats even with perfect setup, but it was still very, very good. It was a top 4 machine, so Nala Trinket was nerfed. Important note, there's still some spells that actually cost 0, right? Because if you get like the spells that cost 2 that generate something, they will still be for 0, but the tier 1 spells that cost 1 and don't generate anything will cost now some gold. The Trinket itself costs 5, that's kind of expensive, so I assume this is really bad Trinket now, and I will avoid it. I think if there is a hotfix still this season, this should go back to maybe 3 or 2 gold, because this is actually a very huge nerf. So my advice, be very cautious when you pick it. Very cautious. You definitely, when you pick it, you have to have already good tribes for Menagerie, maybe already a Landlabber, and yeah. Otherwise, you might just top 8, because 5 gold is very, it's very expensive, and a lot of spells now will cost 1. They will not cost 0. So you'll need to have a way to cheat gold to help with Nala. No, it's still a lesser. So Bob Leahead, you're gonna get 2 gold now when you pick it. So when you pick it, you get 2 gold, and you don't have tier 1 and tier 2s. Important note, you cannot get offered this trinket when you're on Tavern 2. So this trinket is only offerable, you can only get this offered if you're on Tavern 3 or above. And now it grants 2 gold and remove tier 1 and tier 2 units and spells. From the Tavern, not from the pool. You can still discover them via some spells, like Hired Hunter and stuff of that, but you cannot no longer get them in Tavern. This is still a lesser trinket. This is just a mistake in the post. They simply didn't have time to change it. So this is still a lesser trinket. They simply have a mistake in the post. Belcher Portrait, similar to the lesser one, get buffed. Nothing amazing. Cool story, Bob. Dalaran Cheesewheel, similar story. This used to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest demon trinket. Now, but they nerfed the prince, they nerfed the trinket itself to 5, it become unplayable, so now, as you can see, it costs 5. But the upgrade and rolls, top tier. So I think this trinket not gonna be amazing, because once again, the prime of this, the prime time of this trinket was with Prince of Dance, Malkazar, still being on Tavern 3, so it was extremely easy to make it golden and maybe even 2. But right now the Prince is tier 4, so there's less of them in the pool, harder to make it golden. So I don't think this trinket is gonna be crazy good. It's also an elemental trinket, so synergy with Recycling Brave. Let's say you have elemental mech lobby, you can pick it. Most likely when you have usually Brand and Brave already, you can get it going and then you can lean into Beatboxer. So that's something you can do. Azerite Portrait, so it costs now 4. Part of the reason the cost was increased because Azerite itself is tier 3, so it's easier to find. You can make 2 golden quite easily now. So the trinket itself costs 4. Twinscan Lantern cost 1. This is the one that no one really picked. This used to be a lesser trinket, by the way. But they moved it to greater trinket and they removed the greater trinket. I don't think 2 or 1 gold make a huge difference. This is just a cosmetic change. And Price Promo Portrait costs 0. Once again, more of a cosmetic change than anything else. And you guys get the ad, so I will wait. Yeah, the changes are good, but nothing major. Nothing major. They are removing some trinkets, so this is very important. They are removing some trinkets. I'll probably wait. You have still ads yet. Bug fixes, huh? Yeah, I reported this bug, chat, by the way. I'm proud. I reported this bug. Actually, chat. Me. I posted this. After the stream, I make a clip. I gave it to the dev and posted it on Discord. And they actually fixed that. It's very cringe situation when you... Sometimes bludgeons didn't work and you tell Segosa with training certificate, but still, I will take all the credit. I mean, shout out to the people who actually fixed that. Okay. The last thing is a pull update. So again, it's not coming back. That's a good decision because they will need to, like, even if you make it, rework it, and make it like 3 tribes, even 2 tribes additional, that's probably still too powerful, so no more again. And the huge changes are, Primal Fiend Portrait is gone, and the reason is, it's the best trinket in the game, even at 8 gold, according to HysteriA. So if we go to the greater trinket, we go for the current meta, the highest possible MMR, and we will see GIF. The Primal Fiend Lookout trinket is not here. I don't see it. There it is. Extremely high average placement and pick rate. Extremely high, right? Obviously, there are some trinkets that are better, but that's noise. Because, like, if you look at the stats, even though the trinket has extremely high win rate, you have to also look at the pick rate, because low pick rate means low sample size, and low sample size means you have noise in your stats. So, Boom Controller has extremely high win rate, but is it crazy powerful trinket? Yes, but you only pick it in a specific situation, similar to Anvil. So the win rate is kinda accurate, but the amount of the situation you can pick this trinket is lower. Emerald Dreamcatcher is similar, so the Kibler Compass still kinda rules the meta, but if we scroll the trinket that actually has extremely high pick rate and win rate is the Primal Fiend Portrait. So this trinket is almost always pickable, that's why it's a problem. The Boom Controller is not the problem, because it's not always pickable, not always have Big Mech with Divine Shield and Reborn, let's say a Scrapscaper, and then you can snowball. But this trinket, you can almost always pick it, because surprisingly, even at 8 gold, Aegis Replay has incorrect value, this cost 8, it's still crazy good. The stats are actually from this, they just didn't update the image. So it's the best trinket in the game, probably on stats, and we are looking at high MMR. So yeah, that's why this trinket simply was removed. I'm kind of happy, probably a bit too strong, honestly. I get dragged by it plenty of times. So yeah, by the way, Shaker Portrait, Deep Blue is hidden OP, but no one is playing it. Unless you check my YouTube channel and check out the video from yesterday, there's a Deep Blue win with Shaker Portrait. Streamer is up to the date. So yeah, Primal Fiend Lookout get removed. And very similar, Shaman Prayer Beats. On the other spectrum, the worst trinket in the game. It was the greater trinket, no one pick it. They make it lesser trinket, no one pick it. They buff it to like 0 gold, no one pick it, it's gone. And God have mercy, Precious Pearl, the weakest greater trinket is gone too. And part of the reason they didn't buff it is very problematic concept. At 4000 MMR, if you buff this trinket, it's way too powerful for the new players and gonna dominate. And at high MMR, this trinket will, even if you get plus 60, I'm not kidding, even if this trinket was giving plus 60, would it be good enough? I would be never happy to pick it. Unless I have great lesser trinket and I can use that lesser trinket as a win condition, like Goblin Wallet or Goldenizer, then I will pick it simply for tempo. But it's not happening. So I'm very glad they removed that. Means more postcard when you have Nagas on board. Postcard, really good. And no more this as a pivot trinket, which was useless. Very happy. You cannot even see it, but I'm moving my hands a lot. That's how happy I am. Another important change, the Eye of Sargeras cannot be offered from souvenir stand anymore. So if you pick the souvenir stand, you have to know you cannot get Eye of Sargeras offered. The reason being, double Eye of Sargeras that did nothing together. They basically overlap and you will not get additional value. So if you are playing demons, you pick souvenir stand and you hope to hit that trinket. No, you cannot get it. But on the other hand, if you are playing demons and you pick the souvenir stand, you can get the new Dollar and Cheese Wheel twice, and that, or another pendant, and that's gonna be so much better now. So yeah, important change. Last but not least, Ticket sticker has been removed from the Mystery Cube. So Mystery Cube is the best trinket in the game, lesser one. By far, you can almost always pick it at 4 gold. Once again, Aegis Replay saves me. We go to beautiful trinkets. We current meta game, top 1, best trinket is Bleeding Cat. Okay, Reflecting Pendant is crazy good, but where's Mystery Cube? There it is. Look at the pick rate and win rate, very similar story. You can pick it almost every time, and you're gonna overperform, right? You pick it, you win a lot of lobbies, and part of the reason is the ticket sticker is literally the strongest hit you can get it in most cases, so it was removed, and I'm very, very glad they did it. because this trinket needed. I mean, they either need to make this trinket 7 or 8 gold, or just remove this. This is a very nice change, so I'm very happy. Yeah, there's a GIF there. Shout out to tier 7 and Aegis replay. So we have some bug fixes. They fixed the bug that I actually reported. I'm very happy about this. When you place some blood gems on the unit that was buffed by training certificate, sometimes the blood gems didn't work. I did report that one. It's probably in my YouTube video as well. So streamer did his job and no more bugs. At least this one. And the Hearthstone has been updated? Okay, there's a big change as well. Anyway, that's it. Don't forget to sub, don't forget to follow, and yeah, see you guys later.